Candace!
And I'm Shaka.
And welcome to Love Lazy Day Conversations! Hi! I'm just so happy you guys are here.
Annie, what type of you been on?
Absolutely not. I'm just happy you guys are here. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't be happy to see our friends.
Hi, friend. I wish I could see them in person.
Hi, friends.
Y'all should just stick your head through the camera so we can see
through.
y'all. Just come through.
3D.
Yeah.
You know how else we could see y'all though?
How?
Just comment down below. Answer our questions. And then we can see you guys and be like, hey. Hi, guys. Hey, guys. Hi, friends. Hi, friends. Just comment a hey.
Just say hey.
Hello. How are you today? Just a little thought with nothing much to say.
That wasn't the hello. I was going to say hello.
Oh my gosh.
It's me.
She went a lot on Richie.
I was going to do, well, I guess that song too, but I was thinking about the Adele.
Oh, Adele.
I was thinking about Adele.
Hello from the other side. I must have called 1,000 times to tell you. Oh, record platinum.
Ooh. So Ken, this is what I was thinking about the other day. Remember we had a episode earlier and we was talking about how dating and girls dating. It's so weird because Ken, you have a cousin that's dating.
I do.
And I have a cousin that's dating.
She does.
And so it's just like, oh my goodness.
Dating, love is in the air.
Love is in the air.
Do you think dating is harder nowadays? I mean, I'm not dating game, but just seeing
Candace married for all the people that want to know.
Yes. But
she's married.
But seeing other people date and just seeing
I'm not married.
Like the posts that women put, I'm like, it seems hard out there in them streets. So
it definitely seems hard to be dating because, honey.
Why do you think it's so hard? Like, I know for sure people just don't truly say what they want out the gate. Like, people are not honest and people have a crappy way of communicating. So instead of saying out the gate, you know, this is what I need from a person, this is what I like, this is what I want, blah, blah, blah. And being honest, it's a whole bunch of games.
Yeah. I think that is the case. And I think that some people want somebody so bad too, when they meet somebody, they try to always be this. And then when you actually marry that person, you realize that this is just only this part time. Yeah. They're actually this whole person right here. And you don't know that until you don't realize that this is what you really can't do.
Right. You have on the rose-colored glasses.
Yes.
And you can't see clearly.
Yeah, it's like I really can't deal with all this. And I was only able to deal with this part right here. So, but you have to do your real investigation. You have to be open and honest with people.
And honest at the gate.
Open and honest. So and what made me kind of think of that was because I was watching the show Love on the Spectrum on Netflix.
Oh. So
Love on the Spectrum is a show that's on Netflix. This is don't quote me. I think I want to say season 2, season 3. Anyway, Love on the Spectrum is people that are artistic dating.
Oh wow! Like, is it? That's why I say spectrum, just different spectrums of autism.
Yes, different spectrums of autism. And they so what they do, they kind of, I guess the producers kind of get them with somebody else that is autistic as well. And
kind of like a dating game show to see if they match.
Not really like a game show though. It's not like, but they kind of delve into, and then the producers kind of ask them questions as well and say like, you know, you finna go on a date with such and such. What do you want in that person? Gotcha. And
you know, I have seen some clips off of this show, some of them, and I got what you're saying because they are very about what they like, what they want. Is no sugarcoating. They're like, this is what I want. This how I feel.
Yes, and it doesn't have to be. And sometimes, so we are sometimes so superficial that we're like, oh, they have to have money. They need to have a nice car. They need to dress nice. They need to have, you know, and it's like, they be like, honey, if you are into
anime,
then we can keep this ball rolling, you know? And so, but that's their true interest. And, you know, sometimes we that's superficial stuff, like the clothes, the money, the car, you know what I'm saying? That's superficial stuff. What do I like? Football. Do you like football? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to sit here and be with somebody that just hates the game completely.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
So it was just,
that's kind of cool though. 'Cause do they have like people who are like I guess don't really talk much?
yeah. So they had this one guy named Carl, and I want to say this too, and I hope that somebody on the show, family member, friend, whatever, sees this. The amount of patience, and it may not be all the time because I understand everybody can get on people's nerves, but the amount of patience and I guess it's the most thing. The patience that these people's family showed them on the show is impressive to me. Because I mean, these sometimes, and everybody have their thoughts, and sometimes the stuff they said, you was like, now, and their family was like, you know what, that's what you should do, and I applaud that, and they didn't say nah, you ain't finna do that, nah, they went with it, so I love that.
Which I think is respectful of people in general. Because I feel like if more people would be like, okay, I understand that you're feeling, like truly understand how someone is feeling, and be like, that's your decision and I'm okay with that.
Yes.
Lots of times people insert their opinion, give unsolicited advice, be doing all this stuff, and that's just the normal culture with us in this area. And it's so annoying. Like, that's when you build up resentment, and I'll be like, nobody asked you. Like, stop inputting yourself.
Right.
I didn't ask for all of this info. Chill.
Right.
So I do like that. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
They like have a special superpower, people on the spectrum, I feel like, because they just see the world different.
They do. Completely different.
It's like, I like how, because I wish I could be that honest.
And it's the details that they pay attention to. You be like, no, they pay attention to that,
Yeah, the special details. I can honestly see how they would have really good, honest relationships. Because I'm pretty sure if they like, okay, I'm done hanging out with you, they'll be like, okay, I'm tired of hanging out with you, go away. Not even mean nothing by it.
So if you watch the clip, this one guy, the first guy I was going to talk about, Connor, him and he went to this dating. He first said he went to this speed dating. And so as soon as the girl sat down, he looked at her, he said, no, honey. He didn't give her the time of day. Oh, no. And then later on, he started thinking about it, and he realized, like, oh, maybe I was a little too rash on saying no to her. So he ended up calling her up, and she actually said yes to him on her paper, but on his paper, he put no immediately. Immediately no. So they end up getting on the date. And so they went on a date, and they decided, like, let's hold hands. And for some people that's autistic, if you don't know, sometimes physical touch can be a little awkward for them.
Sensory overload.
Yeah, it can be a sensory overload. Sometimes it's for me too. I mean, don't touch me.
She don't like, you can't hug her, don't touch her. She don't like all that.
Oh, that's me. But they kind of like, so okay, hold on, hand. The other hand. What's on this hand?
Oh, I was like. Like,
no, we're not shaking hands. So they was like, okay, they was sitting beside each other. They was like, let's hold hands. And so they held hands, and then it was just, and so you could tell it was made very uncomfortable. So he was looking, and then he was like, no, and he kind of was like, no. And so, but the girl, she's also on the spectrum, and so she was just like, you could tell she was just like, no, it's okay. Like they was just like, that's just not what we're trying to do right now.
Like, that's fine. That was too much.
But they voiced that instead of sitting here enduring it, they were just like, no.
And see, that's why I'm like, they have a superpower, because in normal parentheses on normal culture, it's like, if you are uncomfortable, oftentimes people don't voice that. Like, they will sit there and be like, oh my gosh, I hate this.
This is so uncomfortable.
But they will do it because they'll be like, well, maybe the other person like it. But instead of just voicing, hey, this is making me really uncomfortable, can we do something else?
Can we do something else?
You won't just sit there and suffer, and then the other person have no clue to suffer because you ain't opening your mouth.
Absolutely none. Just say it. Just say how you feel.
Just say that.
Just say that. Just say how you feel.
Learn how to date from on the spectrum.
Yes. So that was but his family was very, very supportive of him. He had a hard time. He didn't want to be alone. That was his thing. But his family had a hard time. I mean, he had a hard time being assertive enough to speak up. And so his family was just, they was there for him, and they was like, no, it's fine. It was like, she may be thinking the same thing. Because sometimes he would think some stuff and he's like, oh, no, I shouldn't think that. And it was like, no, it's absolutely normal. You're fine in thinking that. So, honey, Connor was very cute to me. Now, these other people, honey, Abby and David.
Was that Lion King folks?
Let me tell you. So Abby and David are both obsessed with animals, and both of them, their favorite animal is lions. So if I remember right,
I think I watched that
episode. Let me tell you something. So on their first date, if I remember season 1 right, they went to the zoo, and that was one of their first dates, was going to the zoo, because that's how much both of them really love animals. This season, they went to Africa on an African safari.
Oh wow! Okay, I didn't see that.
So whereas I think the things I wanted in somebody that dated me was kind of like right here, honey. If Abby and David can go to African safari, honey, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
We need to be bringing it up here.
Up here.
So they went on
African safari
for a date. They was there. So it's them, David's 2 sisters, and Abby's mom that went. And so at the east side of the season kind of ended, but it was the cutest thing in the world, because they was sitting together and he got her a little charm bracelet, and he's like, "Hey, Abby, I want you to have this." So he gave it to her, a little charm. He's like, it helps you remember this trip. So she was like, "Oh, I would love it forever." And then somebody was sitting on, and you kind of see like the desert like in front of it, and where like the animals was or whatever. And then he said, "Oh, got something to drink." So honey, they was drinking, and then so all of a sudden they break out in song.
Okay, I didn't see that clip. I didn't know they was in Africa.
Yes, they was actually in Africa when they did this, and they start singing the Lion King. Can you feel the love tonight?
The love tonight.
When I say I was crying,
you were crying.
It was just the sweetest thing. And you have to put a clip in here. You have to put the small clip of when they start singing. But honey, and they got to the part where they said impossible, honey, David. So and it was like they had almost rehearsed it, because David started it. Abby had the second stanza.
He was singing Simba part and she was singing Nala part.
Yes. And honey, he said impossible, honey. He said impossible. She turned away from me, and then honey, Abby started. He's holding back his hiding. And Abby has a nice little voice.
She's like, oh.
But won't you be the king I know he is, the king I see inside? Honey, and then the producers just had a little mellow music, and you just saw them just sitting there together. Honey, I just lost it, honey. I just lost it.
What about that scene made you cry so?
If that's not the sweetest thing, he gave her a bracelet. He said, "I want you to remember this moment, honey, on our trip." And then he started singing that song to her.
Oh.
It's just the small things for me.
The small things.
But honey, I lost it. Honey. I lost it. And I was just, honey, but they the cutest. David and Abby.
That is so.
And they just be kissing and stuff. And I was like, y'all kissing too much on this show, honey. This is supposed to be a children's show. Y'all kissing too much. I can't keep seeing it.
Now, do you?
I can't.
So what, from watching this show, what did you learn that you would like to incorporate if you ever dive into the dating world?
I mean, I think that one thing is to pay attention to the small stuff, because like each one of them, it's a small stuff that they like, oh, I know that you like such and such. And they did it, the small stuff. Be honest, be open, and just say how you really feel about stuff.
Mm-hmm. I think that makes sense, because the small stuff over time add up to big things. It's like, oh, you notice that I like this, or you notice I always wear this, or stuff like that. It really, when people, because honestly, when I think about it, those are my favorite type of gifts, when it's something where someone really thought about something Candace likes, and they gift it. It don't have to be expensive, but it's like, oh, something like this shirt was a gift from a friend. They know I love Ninja Turtles, so they got me this Ninja Turtle shirt with like pieces of the theme song on it. And you're talking about that little thing touched my heart. And I cry about everything, so I'm sure I cried about it. But
sure,
but
sure,
it just, them little things just truly touch your heart.
Yeah, it was very that got me though. I said, honey, if I don't find nobody like that do this for me, honey, stay where you at.
You don't want it.
Stay where you at, honey. We ain't gotta go to African Safari, honey. But if you can't sing Lion King, stay where you at. I don't want you.
You would like that song. Can you
imagine you sitting there, you just y'all done had a good night, y'all done went out to eat, you just laughed and talked and stuff like that, and then you just sit in the car, you about to get out at your house, honey, and then all of a sudden this fine young man just gonna sit there and say, can you? I would just be I think immediately I would get out of the car, I'd be like, Carol, I'm just finna get married. We can be on date number 1, honey. I'll be about to be, honey. I said, can't get your bridesmaids dressed together. Honey, because it's about to be a whole wedding, honey, in 2 weeks.
Sweet.
In 2 weeks, we finna
little simple song for Lion King.
Simple song for Lion King, honey. So the next girl was Journey. Journey was she found out that she realized that she was lesbian. Oh, honey, get it together.
Journey, the other side.
Journey was lesbian. And so Journey was lesbian. She was and it was weird because Journey was 18 years old and she was recently diagnosed with autism. She said she realized that she was different, but she wasn't diagnosed. Why are you looking like this? I've been saying this need to be on screen. You got to be on screens.
Oh my god! I'm sorry. I don't even know how my face looks.
What did I say? Good God.
Oh my god. I didn't realize how my face was. I
couldn't even get it. I was trying to see what you was looking Oh my God.
This is why we can't be taken seriously. Oh my God.
You didn't realize your face was looking like that? You looked at it and you was like, I'm looking crazy.
When I looked, I was like, oh my God.
I was like, what in the world is the matter?
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
I can't breathe.
Oh my goodness, honey.
Laugh break.
Oh, honey.
Laugh break.
Why did you take this off and say hi?
Oh my God. Okay.
I was like, what is the problem? Stop this little show.
I didn't know how I was looking. I'm sorry. Oh my God.
Oh Lord. You like here.
Stop talking.
Is this seizure? Oh my God. You had a pneumonia, bronchitis. I don't have time for that.
Laugh break.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's start back again.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't be realizing how my face looks.
It was horrible. It was literally horrible.
I was listening intently.
Kind of too intent for me. You ain't gotta listen that intently. I'm not telling the problem. I'm just talking.
Oh my God.
Honey. Oh, you need a mirror that's beside you so you every now and then you a glance and make sure that your face is matching the circumstances.
Oh, stop talking. I can't stop.
Oh my goodness.
I can't breathe. My side.
Okay, let me go to Dan, honey. Let me talk about Dan and now. Dan is next, honey. Oh my
We
goodness.
didn't even talk about. She was diagnosed at 18.
Okay, Journey was diagnosed at
Journey-
18. Journey was 18, but she was just diagnosed as with autistic at a year ago. Ain't that's crazy?
That is very crazy. I feel like oftentimes people, especially young girls and women, when it comes to these type of things, are underdiagnosed.
Why? What do you think that is?
Because lots of times they do studies and tests on young boys because they present different stuff differently. Like
Mhm.
they present it to where like, oh, you actually know something may be up. Little
Yeah.
girls and women, we learn at an early age, just in general, just by our culture and how women are always taught, be good, be nice, be blah, blah, blah. We learn how to mask almost out the gate.
Yeah.
So we could go for years just feeling off, but functioning like something we're normal. And it's like we got ADD, we got autism, we got all of these stuff on the spectrum, and it's just because we can put on a good front.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's oftentimes why we're underdiagnosed. So
That's probably why. But she realized she was gay. She did go on a date with a girl she really liked, but at the end it showed it that they didn't stay together. Yeah, so that was Journey. The next one is Danny, honey. Danny's 20 years old. Danny stayed with her aunt and uncle. And honey, the main goal for Danny was she has to get it in.
oh, Danny.
Danny had books. Danny said she is ready for the home run. And when Danny talking about home run, she was speaking nothing of baseball.
Oh no, Danny.
Danny said she's ready for the home run, honey. But she did end up talking to this, I forgot this guy's name. But she did end up, kind of making a connection with this guy. And the funny thing was the guy took her on a date. She went to the bathroom. She was over with producers interviewing, and he called his dad and said, "Yeah, Dad, I used your credit card. I used $60." And he was like, "I'll put money back on the card," or something like that. It was so funny. But he was also autistic. Both of them was very highly into anime.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so they actually went to an anime convention
I
together.
think that was fun. I want to go to one.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Shonda will not be going with me.
Absolutely not.
My husband will go with me.
That's good, honey. I'm glad. That's why she's married. Now this next little person, honey. If I ever met him, he would be my friend. I think he will easily replace you, Kate. Easily. Tanner. Now, if y'all you got to go on Love on the Spectrum and look at Tanner, honey. He is the absolute sweetest. So he has this job. So first of all, he lives with 2 other people that's also on the spectrum. So all 3 of them live together, and they have the house kind of set up to where they can, make sure they don't burn the house down. So on the I don't think it's on the show, but I think I saw it somewhere. On like the stove, they have like 1, 2, 3, like turn it this way, do this, to turn the stove on, whatever. Anyway.
Simplified.
Yeah. Simplified for him. But Tanner worked at a local restaurant / hotel. And his sister his younger sister worked there as well. So when he first came in, he saw this girl, he was like, "Hey," and he hugged, and I was like, "No, wait a minute, Tanner, you're doing too much." But then they said that's his sister. I was like, okay. But she was like, "What you gonna do today?" He was like, "I'm wiping the windows, I'm cleaning the doors." And he just named all the stuff he's doing. She was like, "That's your new activity." He's like, "Yes." And he was like, "I'm so excited." And he was like, honey, just the sweetest little thing.
Uh-huh.
So they put Tanner with what was the little girl name? I forgot her name. I don't want to say little girl. That's all right. I mean to say little girl. But they put him on a date with this girl, and honey, Tanner's just so sweet. He was like, they went outside. It was raining. He's like, "I think you should hold my hand. I think you should hold my arm." And so she held his arm, but the whole time you could tell that Tanner was leading the conversation. He was like, "Do you like tigers? Yes. Lions? No." That and he was like just talking. Because he actually had a coach that was kind of helping him on how to communicate.
Oh, so he learned.
Yeah, so he was just like talking, and she was just like, "Yes, no, yes, no, yes," and she couldn't really carry a conversation with him. So anyway, they end up not staying together. But Tanner is the absolute sweetest, and he was when the cutest thing when there's his thing. He say, "Is my eyebrows how it should be? Is my eyebrows how it should be?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He said, "I just want to make sure my eyebrows right." He's just the cutest, the absolute cutest. Tanner was cute. Now the last guy was Steve, honey. Let me see. No, Steve was not last. Steve is an older guy. He's 64 years old. And Steve also had I won't say life coach, but he had somebody that was with him that kind of made sure that he was, able to function. Steve actually had a beautiful voice, though. If you hear Steve had a radio voice.
Oh wow,
he has a very nice. My name is Steve. That's how he talks, but it's a very, very nice voice, honey. And so he went on a date. He was diagnosed later in life. He's searching for a soulmate. He went for a date with this lady, honey. She was too much. I was like, I even said, honey, get her off the show.
No.
Honey, she was just like, we go to your house tonight. And he was just like, you're beautiful. But he didn't know how to at first. But I think Steve was like, at the end, he was just like, this ain't gonna work. He told her. He was like, we could just be friends. And she was like, are you sure? He was like, yes. We could just be friends. So when his little helper lady came and she was asking how to go, and he's like, she came up so strong. And so she was like, yeah. And she was like, wasn't feeling that. He was like, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Oh.
But honey, sometimes he just broke out of song. He had a nice little baritone voice, honey. I like Steve. Steve was very nice. And the last one was James, honey. Now, James stayed with his parents. And, honey, you can tell they got on his nerves. James be like, I just want to do it. And so one time, his mom said, they said, you should put on slacks. James wanted to wear shorts. And they said, no, put on some pants. James said he didn't want to wear no pants today. And, honey, James stormed off. And then his mama said, honey, I hope the girl you dating is a little bit calmer than you. Oh, honey, she said, no, not because she said, oh, I hope they don't have a temper. They don't have a temper like you, honey. But James was just
James wanted to wear his shorts.
He wanted to wear his shorts, honey. But it was cute. But he also gave the girls the girl chocolates, and he said, I'm so sorry, it melted in my pocket. But would you like a chocolate? So she was like, sure, that's fine, But each one of them did small stuff, like just small thoughtful things that you was just like, wow, and I would hope that everybody's dating, everybody in a relationship, you're in a relationship, just do something thoughtful for your husband today.
Something small, simple, and thoughtful.
Do it, Ken.
See, and I think that's good to learn different perspectives. I like shows like that where you can just learn how different people live their lives. Because you can learn something from it. Mm-hmm. Again, I feel like people who are autistic or on the spectrum have a unique superpower. I know it's different levels to autism. Mm-hmm. Some people where they're nonverbal, but oftentimes they can communicate in different ways. Mm-hmm. Or the world is made really too loud and too bright and it's uncomfortable. But then you learn different ways to navigate through the world, or different things to make you feel comfortable or whatever.
I like the show because I think it's educational as far as people that's autistic, because you can actually realize that just because you're autistic does not mean you deserve to sit in a room in a house and stay there and can't ever function, because all these people had their interest. They all were allowed to explore their interest. Some of them had jobs. They were able to love, to date, to say they like this, they didn't like this. So just because, and even this is just not just for people that don't know anything about autism, but also for people that maybe you got a kid that has autism. Don't limit them. Don't think, they has autism, the world is over. No, you still work with that child. You still cultivate their development, because you never know what they can still become.
Yeah, you just have to learn a different way. And some people who are not super autistic, again, I think of it like a superpower, but who are on the more extreme end of it, to where they're nonverbal and it's kind of hard for them to function, but they usually have a really amazing skill at something. Like they can see a picture and draw it exactly as they saw. Or, it's just different things. You just have to, and the only way to find that out is to explore.
To allow them to explore.
Allow them to explore. Don't just be like, well, that's the way they are, and just leave them in a corner somewhere. Because, you never get a chance, or they never get a chance to discover, what they're capable of. Yeah. So I do feel like autism needs to be explored more.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like a lot of stuff is still stuck in those stigmas from way back when, even up until now. A lot of people are on the spectrum. So if you're on the spectrum and people act like it's the inner world, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Do what makes you comfortable too, because sometimes with autism, just like I was saying about Connor, him and the girl, they held hands. They was just like, it's not comfortable. If it's not comfortable, don't do it. Don't make people push you into what's comfortable and what's not comfort.
Yeah, because it's like it's still your life, and you can, navigate what you like and I applaud people on the spectrum or who's autistic. Oftentimes they can, because they don't. Social cues is not normal to them. Mm-hmm. So they easily can be like, I don't like that, or that's ugly, or like they're really oftentimes, and this is a generalization, so I don't want to say this is exactly how it is.
How everybody is,
they can be very blunt. They just see the world different. But I feel like if more people were dating, or even when they're in a relationship, if people were more blunt and being like, I don't like that, and just said why they don't like it, and that person was able to be like how those people parents were, just be like, okay, well, let's try something,
let's try something different
instead of going back and forth like, well, I ain't mean it, with attitude or whatever.
Right. Or just exploring, like, why don't you like? Because they ask that often too, like, what is it about this? And and then when they realized like they was pushing too many buttons, okay, it's fine. We don't have to talk about that right now,
So I feel like stuff like that can even work in a normal relationship, but it's just, I feel like the honesty and just bluntness of communication could save a lot of headaches.
Yeah,
could save a lot of headaches. Could save a lot of drama. But let us know what you thought. If you've seen the show, let us know in the comments down below.
Let me know if you cried for the Lion King scene.
We sure cried today laughing. My stomach, that was a workout. Like, but laughing like that is so good. Like, I feel so good.
It's a good workout. It is a good workout. It is.
Yeah, comment down below. If you're on the spectrum or autistic, tell us your journey in the comments down below. Tell us how you...
If you know somebody that's autistic, let us know.
Yeah, let us know how you navigate. Because I find like if these conversations were more open and more people knew about it, it wouldn't be so stigmatized.
Yes.
So talk to us about it. We love to talk.
We love to talk and laugh.
We love to talk and laugh.
Thank y'all for joining us.
Bye.